Welcome to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. All good in the hood. All is good. Because them damn Clippers beat them Lakers. You know I love that Civil War, and we usually come out on top. Now, we got to finish on top of the entire NBA. But right now, that's the job of the San Francisco 49ers. Look at that transition. And Brock Purdy. And no more Brock Purdy hate. No more Purdy slander. At least that's what Pat McAfee says. Listen to Pat McAfee say he's done hating on Purdy.
I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander. This dude's in his second year.
Second year.
In the NFL, out of Iowa State. He was playing against Washington State just a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's in his second year in the NFL. Back-to-back NFC championships. Last pick of the draft. We all understand that. This guy was handed absolutely nothing through this entire process. And now it's like, well, we got to come out and kill this guy because he didn't have a perfect game in divisional round against Green Bay Packers. Well, I just want to remind everybody, here's some interesting stats from Hembo on Brock Purdy about this season, okay? Not just this season, Brock Purdy era with the San Francisco 49ers. Including the playoffs, the 49ers are 20-5 and average 29.2 points per game with Brock Purdy as their starter.
Is that a lot? Is that good?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. That's top 5 in the league. 29.2 in points per game. They're 17-3 and average 30.1 points per game when Debo and Trent Williams both play. One of those losses came in the NFC title, by the way, whenever he was knocked out in the first quarter or whatever. During the regular season, this one, he led the NFL. This is Brock Purdy. Basic ass, bomb ass, system quarterback, check down ass Brock Purdy, okay? During the regular season, he led the NFL in yards per attempt, yards per completion, first downs per attempt, passer rating, total EPA, success rate, and total QBR, okay? Check down, bad, terrible ass, basic ass Brock Purdy led the NFL in all those things. By QBR, okay, quarterback rating or ranking, whatever the hell they call it.
Sure.
He was the top 5 player at quarterback in these categories this season. Versus man, when blitzed, when not blitzed, when pressured, when not pressured, in the pocket, in the red zone, in the fourth quarter, and on third down. Okay, so everything that matters.
You know why McAfee said that, right? It always takes somebody outside to see what's really going on the inside, right? Can't see the forest from the trees, as they say. Even though I'm like, I can see it. It's big as hell, but I can see it. But it takes a punter, you know? It takes a former punter who knows I'm on the team adjacent. I'm on the team hybrid. I'm on the team when y'all need me to pin them down there deep, right? But other than that, y'all kind of be like, yo, chill, dog. We got this. Well, this is a situation right now where the San Francisco 49ers, if they're going to advance, they can't say, chill, Purdy, we got this. And everybody tries to address Purdy like, oh, it's the team. It's everybody around him propping him up. That's almost to say if they had me at quarterback, they'd be fine. No. Somebody better than you. Okay, how much better? A bottom starter in the league. Who was the worst quarterback last year? Damn, this hurts to say it. Was it Bryce Young? It better not be Bryce Young. But by the stats, it might be Bryce Young, at least the team. Okay, so you can have anybody. No, we didn't say all that. All right, so you got to be mid-pack, mediocre. Mediocre? Who was mediocre last year at quarterback? Justin Fields? He may be a little better than mediocre. You just think it's just going to all flow, all go the same way no matter who you put in there. Y'all disrespectful. More than being an outsider, your ass is dumb. You ain't never played football at no high level to think you can replace anybody and go out there and get the same results. Like literally on its surface, that makes no sense. It's more than just the tangibles. It's more than just who's big, fast, and strong. You can't measure the wheel. That's why the GOAT, the greatest of all time in the NFL, whether you want to say old school Joe Montana, you want to say Jerry Rice, or you want to go with Tom Brady. All 3 of those guys had tangible challenges. One combine all-stars. Jerry Rice, they say, ran a 4.6. Still hard to believe, but ran a 4.6. I ran a 4.6. You're trying to, man, stop. So the point is, whatever we're not measuring is what's most important. So in this conversation, when you talk about Brock Purdy, put some respect on his name. Speaking of that, I saw Birdman yesterday. Birdman on purpose looked like he ain't happy. He just be fronting, dog. I know he's way happier than they were like, and they put him on the camera, you know, at the Jumbotron. He like, dude. Like, dog. Him and Jalen Rose, shout out. It was a lot of people in the building yesterday. All love. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the point is, can we chill? 2 NFC championship games in a row. Second year, quarterback with all those stats that he just laid out. You say, well, Jimmy G did it. And then now look at Jimmy G. First of all, when you take Jimmy G from the 49ers, stop looking at him like he a 49er still. You ain't the same. Joe Montana, when he went to Kansas City, still good. He wasn't the same. He wasn't winning Super Bowls in Kansas City. He got to the championship game, tapped out. You're not the same. Now, Tom Brady was the same. Because he the GOAT. He Tom Brady. The exception that proves the rule, which is you can't just be putting people in and out of any situation and think it's going to be all good. So, I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander as well. One, I hate when people talk about somebody else and you did it and you didn't do it as well as them. I feel bad about that, but I'm guilty. I'm a hypocrite like everybody else. Depends on my emotional state. But I watch people on TV, and when they sorry, like I wasn't sorry. I just wasn't good all my years. I was never sorry, though. Trust that. But how the hell are you going to talk about this dude? And especially if you play quarterback. Now, that's when I'm really like, oh, dog, you couldn't even do that. Like, I could talk about a quarterback. I played football. All right, he better than me. He got a different position, blah, blah, blah. But when it's a DN, watch how much respect I give them DNs. Anybody that got over 44 career sacks got my salute. But you got to have more than 13 in one season with a broken foot and 10 and a half, another with a back surgery, and replace Bruce Smith, et cetera, get the contracts. Let me stop. Point being, y'all leave Brock Purdy alone. Let's move on from the Brock Purdy slander. I'm going to put on my tank top. I am in solidarity with you, Pat McAfee. Enough is enough. Y'all with us? Y'all done with talking about Brock Purdy? Even if he loses this game, can y'all stop playing? Second year in the league, y'all spoiled. Y'all spoiled. I played 10. I never went to a championship game. And I had quarterbacks. Man, I had Drew Brees, y'all. Young Drew Brees, but still. Now, the fact that Brock Purdy's even in these elite conversations, that should be a salute enough, right? Second year player, Mr. Irrelevant into it. But what do y'all think? Y'all think it's slander? Y'all think it's people over there taking shots at him or people propping him up? Where do you rank Brock Purdy in the league? Top 10 or outside of it? Oh, man. I love Brock's energy, though. I don't hear him saying jack. Matter of fact, a lot of times I hear him just saying, yeah, you know, it comes with the territory, whatever. I mean, the climb that you had to have from being a 7th rounder Mr. Irrelevant to now being Brock Purdy who's going to get paid. Why are you getting mad at people hating on you? You're probably used to it. So y'all tell me, if y'all were in the media, what would y'all say to Brock Purdy? Give it to me. Beat it up in the comments. All right. Speaking of beating it up, king of transitions, Camron saw Ben Simmons out. And this is funny because I see a lot of people out that I know they don't have love for me, and I like to challenge them. I'll get to it. So Camron saw Ben Simmons out, and he said Ben Simmons was mad dogging him, giving him the death stare. You know, like, what's up, homie? But not saying it. See, first of all, I don't fight anybody, but I ain't gonna let your eyes, I ain't gonna let your thoughts beat me up either. I hate when I see somebody trying to mad dog, or worse than mad dogging is when they in their feelings and they just kind of like breaking this, like a little puppy. Like, oh. Anyway, so Camron sees Ben Simmons and he like, dog, is it on? Is it on site? Let's talk about this. Listen to Camron say what happened in that encounter with Ben Simmons.
Game is over, and I'm walking towards him. So you know how you going towards the locker room, like VIP entrance? And he's standing there, and I'm trying to get through the shit, and I'm like, he's looking at me, and I'm like, I don't want to have an ice grill contest with Ben Simmons because this is just stupid. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking, so I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. Now I'm looking like, this isn't going to go good because I'm going to go crazy, my nigga. Like, you know, it's too many cameras around. That Draymond footage on Jordan Poole, never. Before you get that, loose chairs going to be flying. I'm going to go straight for your knees, all type of shit. So he looks and comes my way. and just walks past me, and I'm like, why would you play these games with me, yo? Just say, if you don't like what I say, I'd rather a nigga just be like, yo, Cam, I wasn't feeling that shit. You don't understand. I'm really hurt. I'm really going through something. Those ain't the games to play and live in New York at the same time. They just not, and that's not a threat. I'm just saying. That's the wrong games. I buy all the seats, buy every damn ticket behind the Nets fucking bench. Stop playing games, B. I just got back in. I wouldn't fuck up my homie Jeremy's tickets. I would, because you know that's the next thing, Murder. Cam went in there and wilded out. Now we, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. Niggas. You know, niggas. So, listen, Ben Simmons, in case we see each other again, just say that you don't like what I'm saying so I can say I don't give a fuck, and then we can keep it moving. All these eye games, that's not it, B. Not especially when you're 6'10". I'm going for your knees, paws, and then I'm buying season tickets to the next game. That's that. That's what happened, Murder. It wasn't really a long story.
Been there. Saw it last night. Should I say his name? Let me stop. Now, shout out to the homies I did see. Man, I saw, like I said, I saw Jalen Rose, saw Birdman, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson. Who else was in the building that y'all would know? Big Sean. Oh, that was dope. Oh, I love Big Sean. Damn, I love how he flow. Anyway, how about when you see somebody you know they ain't got love for you? How you supposed to act, right? So me, I'm a big jokester. I'm silly. Some people ran up on me yesterday and said, hey, Wiley, what's up? Love your podcast, love all this stuff. Man, you bigger than I thought. And you look big on TV. And I said, I told you. And remember I told y'all, when cats be trying to have little issues with me, when they see me, it's a whole different conversation. I'm not gigantic. I'm just not small anywhere. Like no part of me is little, right? And I walk like what? When you are confident, when you ain't really there for the smoke, you almost look harder than those who there for the smoke. You ever see somebody show up and they ready to fight? I'll be giggling. I'm like, look at this fool. Where you at? Over there? Oh, no. I'm like, man, fool, please. You ain't about to do nothing. And if you're going to do something, so what? It's been done before. I'm messing up the good time, right? So Camron, I like his energy too. He like, yo, B, like, don't be coming at me like that, looking at me like that. Now, I don't know what he said about Ben Simmons. Please beat that up in the comments. Let me know. But the point is, I'm not going to hide behind my job. I don't like when people say that. Yo, I'm doing my job talking about you, B. Nah, that ain't why athletes get mad at you. LeBron James is the GOAT to me. Y'all know that. I saw LeBron James yesterday. Salute. He saluted me. He was like, what's up, Wiley? What's up? Darvin Ham. Like all these guys, they play for the Lakers. You think I've been flattering to them? No, but it's the way you do it. They get you doing your job. They also get when you out of bounds doing your job. And a lot of cats, watch this, try to be like, oh, I'm doing my job. Man, you shooting at that fool, man. Let that live. It's a way to diss somebody without really disrespecting them, right? Just say, look, not feeling that, move on. But we don't got so spoiled and so extreme. If you ain't clowning somebody, and I know why. Look, the algorithm, the likes, the discussion topics nobody want to hear, debate, kill somebody. That's why Cat Williams set the internet on fire. Because he went at people. Names and numbers and nitrous, oh, it's rap. You're going to blow up. That's how the game goes. So Ben Simmons probably ain't out of pocket because he looking at Camron, which, and you know how Camron go. So I'm assuming he went there. But the point is, to all my haters out there, when I see you, I'm coming in peace. When I'm doing this, I'm coming in peace. You don't have to worry. I see cats and they be shook. Why do people not want to speak, especially when they have an issue? I bring up this because it's like with cheerleaders. Y'all know what cheerleaders are, pom-poms. 2, 4, 6, 8, who we appreciate, right? Follow me here. Cheerleaders are the loudest when it's all good. When we score a touchdown, when we kick the field goal, right? When we get possession, when we get the turnover. That is ass backwards. You know when you need a cheerleader, take it from me playing football, playing sports, when you're down, when it ain't going well, when we got some issues right here, I need somebody pumping me up. I need somebody cheering me on. Y'all quiet too. Cheerleaders, when y'all fumble the ball, they go like this. That's when I need y'all to go 2, 4, 6, 8. We still appreciate you. Life. Catch that life lesson, man. You got to be your own biggest cheerleader. Also, cats, when I see you and we got an issue, I'm coming to you to dead the issue. Because all this Twitter and all this, oh, when I see you on site, or when all this, oh, man, I don't like what he be saying, oh, you coon sellout. I'm here now. I'm here. Oh, I be clouded. I'm here now. And people know, don't go there. And I ain't go. Look, if you swing on me, first I'm a duck. Second of all, I might block it. Third, I'm going to be like, dog, don't do that again. And you might swing again. I'm saying, don't do it. You might connect. I'm not going down. And then if I go down, I'm going to wake up and then say, don't do that. And then I'm going to have uncles and friends that, let me stop. Point is, we need to stop this little culture of like, I'm mad at you, but I want you to know I'm mad at you by not telling you I'm mad at you, by wearing it. That's weak. Punk. So I don't know what happened between them. I just wanted to get that off my chest and also explain to y'all. When y'all the ones like Ben Simmons doing this, oh, I heard homie tripping. I heard homie trying to holler at my girl. Won't you walk up to homie and say, hey, big dog, excuse me, nothing but love, but did this happen? I guarantee you get a whole different response, and you'll feel better too, because you'll get to what you really want instead of looking like this all damn night. All right, y'all, let's talk about things that you see and things that you don't see. Confirmation bias, right? This is strong. Now, I am a huge fan of Tony Robbins, and I say huge because that sucker huge. Y'all think I'm big. Tony Robbins, his hands like Wemby's hands, like Wembyama's. Like, he gigantic. Like, gigantic. I'm big. He gigantic. Anyway, huge presence, big voice. Obviously, I've gotten opportunities to hang with him, come on our shows before, etc. Big fan. Like, I grew up in college. One of the things that helped me get through college was reading a Tony Robbins book. Y'all can giggle if y'all want. I wasn't laughing. I needed it. And I still follow Tony Robbins to this day. I love self-help. I love all that corny Campbell's soup, food for thought. I love it. Now, listen to what he's going to say right now about what y'all seeing and what y'all proving.
Whether you believe it's true or you believe it or not, it's true. Because when you believe something's true, you'll find evidence for it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you a little test. Look around this room right now and notice everything you can see that's brown. Okay? Everything you can find, some test. Look all around, both sides of you. Anything you see that's brown. People at home, look at that in your own room. Whatever you see is brown. Okay, close your eyes.
Okay.
Tell me everything you just saw that was red. Now, obviously, you saw a lot more brown, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're looking for it. Open your eyes. Now look for red. Look for red anywhere you can find red. Any place you can find red.
Okay.
Okay? Did you find more red this time? How come?
Because I was looking for red.
That's right. Once you develop a belief, you find what supports it. So watch this. You will find stuff that's not even there in order to be successful. I bet you saw some beige shit, called it brown just to feel successful, did you?
Right over there.
I bet you saw some things burgundy and called them red just so you could feel successful.
I factored in some of those now and later.
You see what I'm saying? If you think you're screwed up, you're messed up, you're going to find and you're going to color yourself that way. Whether you think it's true, whether you think it's not, it's going to be true for you. In other words, whatever you believe is self-evident.
Damn. Hit a drummer, get wicked. Let's talk about this. What'd he say? When you believe something and you believe it's true, you're going to find evidence of it for it. When you believe, he didn't say it was really true. He just said if you believe it, you're going to go over there and support that. Oh, you're going to be the best defense attorney for that damn belief ever. That is power, y'all. Yesterday, I was at the Juvenile Hall Center. Don't get me started. I'm about to cry. Golly, yo, I am not lying. There was a room, 60 kids. And then they were doing a video conferencing to another Juvenile Hall Center, right? So I'm on camera here, and it's 60 kids in front of me. Kids, y'all. Everything from, let's call it minor infractions, but they in juvenile hall, so they got arrested. They in the system. That, on that side of the room, the left side of the room was the minor infractions. That means they're going to be in there, but not forever, not for long, but they in there. And then this split, I'm not lying to y'all. And then this side of the room, and it's crazy because visually, I was thinking while I was talking, they explained this to me after. Why this side of the room asked more questions, looked a little lighter. This side of the room, more tats on the face, more tats like just everywhere, just look different, look harder. Then I found out, oh, that's where the murderers are. That's what the people who are going to be there for a while are. And still connected with me. We still going at it. And we still having a great time trying to inspire them. Tell them, hey, man, we a little detour. Hey, it's a little delayed. And I hit them with this. I said, look, every day in every way, a dream comes to you, right? And it lands on you. But if you ignore it, just like a pretty girl, she's like, hi. And you're like, hey, hello. And you're like, she's like, all right, well, I'll catch you around, right? That's your dreams. They land on you, right? And they land on you because that's the conception of them. You got to conceive it. It's here. Then you got to believe it. I told them that. And then if you conceive it, believe it, you can achieve it. You know that. That's the seeds and that's how they're planted. But it takes time, damn it. And when it takes that amount of time, you plant that seed, right? It ain't going to be a bush tomorrow. You ain't going to have a tree tomorrow. And I said, right now, seeds are being planted. We talking. I see y'all. I'm connecting with y'all. Seeds are being planted. Now we got to protect them and let them blossom and water them, right? Cultivate them. Let's go, right? Kids are like, yeah, yeah. And I said, now, then you can start to feel it. And I know what they were thinking. They were a little defeated. I said, oh, remember, when we plant these seeds, it takes time. You didn't ask for this, or maybe you did, but the point is, it's here. Y'all got some time. Let's make sure these seeds blossom. Oh, they were loving life, and I was loving it too. They're like, we do got time. Let's not waste our time. I'm in here. Some of them 3 months, some of them 3 years, some of them for a whole while. You got time, bro. Let's go. Let those seeds actually blossom into something. So, Tony Robbins is hitting on that, but he hitting you in a different way. He's saying, look, the power is in the belief. Because now you're going to see that. And once you see that, you're going to go get that. Because you already done believed and felt that. Oh, man, that's so dope. And it's also dope because it makes you greater than your greatest excuse. Project Transition, right? It makes sure that you understand what you're looking around for. Why are you looking out the window? That mirror, that's you. This life, this yours. Go get it. I was like, so that confirmation bias. Now, it gets misused a lot too, because you believe things that are wrong, believe things that are not true, and you will go on a constant chase to support and believe it, whether that's conspiracy theory or not. But the point is, we all know some people believe the wrong things, and then they go on a pursuit to prove them right. Every single gangster I grew up with, every single drug dealer I knew, family or friend, believed to some degree that that life was going to lead them somewhere. Do you know the triple OGs that I grew up with? The ones that, I got video of me 8 years old, Jerry Curls and all that. All my families just, I didn't know at the time, cripping and all that, right? And they coming up to the gangs to make sure I'm good and protected. And every girl loving them. They had the Nissan trucks, hydraulics on them, all that. Back of it, velvet and all that. I'm not lying to y'all. Every single one of them. That the ones that I was like, I didn't want to be like them because I was just like, this don't look right. But everybody saluted them. Do you know every single one of them in my family circle, none of them made it? Dead, suicide, broke, sick. Like none of them moved to the burbs and got the big house with the big pool and invite everybody from the hood over every now and then. Not that circle. Now I know that circle. I'm talking about intimately. I ain't talking about story. I'm talking about real. I ain't going Stephen A. Smith. I ain't making this up. Let me stop. I'm talking about real. Not one. But do you know they all believe that? I remember when they were like 17, I'm like 8. I'm like, damn, they in it. They ain't in it. You couldn't tell them nothing. And I ain't trying to tell them nothing because I needed protection at times. So I was like, yeah, keep balling while I'm like, yeah, I will. Thank you all. So believe, man. Believe in what you really want to achieve. That's it. Confirmation bias, it'll come from that. So how does that connect with you in your everyday life and outlook? You like that? You knew that? You believe that? You actually are disciplined like that? Or admit it? You never even thought about it like that. Ain't it dope? Like what you looking for in this room right now? Then you close your eyes and you be like, all right, show me something else. You're like, what? I didn't see it. Because you're only looking for what you look for. You only look for what you believe, what you already have seen. That's so dope. Confirmation bias at its finest. So what would you say to one who says this doesn't, the non-believer, this doesn't translate into reality? What would you say to that person? Or are you that person? Beat it up in the comments. All right, y'all, coming up next on Never Shut Up, we're about to get into it. It is Wiley Wednesday. I got a special guest, and I ain't going to tell you till he comes. That's right. Make sure y'all stick around. Also, we're going to funk up some comments and hit you with a Wileyism. That's next on Never Shut Up, Brinks TV and Reese TV. Y'all see that pause I had? I got asthma, so you know I'll be breathing all day. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. Y'all see this smile? No, it's not just because the Clippers stomped the Lakers again, because I got a surprise guest. But first, you guys got to go to Brinks.tv. Go to Brinks TV. We hook you up $1,000 in Brinks Bucks. Yes, you get some of that merch and some discounts on all the things Brinks. Love you guys for that. Thanks for that support. Also, make sure, because it's Wednesday and I'm wearing my Bet US hoodie that I have not washed this entire season. That's why I'm beating y'all in every single contest. You got to go to WileyWins.com. Make sure you log on. 125% sign up bonus. We'll get back to that in a second. Make sure you support these itty bitties. I told y'all I was at a juvenile hall center yesterday. Misdemeanors all the way to murder. 17, 18-year-olds real. Support our mission to create this global giving communities and empower those itty bitties. So go to projecttransition.org. Okay, no more waiting. It's time to go as deep as we can into the gambling world. We are now being joined by Steve Fezzik. Who is that? Steve is a professional gambler. Like I was a professional football player, he's the highest level of taking the casino's money. So Steve, welcome to Never Shut Up.
So thank you so much for having me, Marcellus. It's true. People hear all the time, Vegas knows that the house always wins. And the best evidence that I can give that that's not true, Marcellus, is that I'm going to make a promise to you. I can get you next football season, if you wanted me to, I could get you backed off, barred from a casino within 30 minutes betting sports, where they'd say, can't take those anymore. 30 minutes.
Is that something you can say right now? Tell me more, or we have to wait till next football season to go through this process?
Oh, well, I can tell you what the easiest method is, that they have these parlay cards where they publish them on Wednesday. And as a mathematical guy, this will be very clear to you. So they have the point spreads on those games Wednesday, and they move over the course of the rest of the week, injuries, etc. But they're pre-printed. They're stale numbers. So you stack enough of those stale numbers together, you're taking plus 7.5 on a game that's 4.5. You can see how it makes the edge go towards the player. That's kind of how I first started with my betting career. They felt like nobody could win playing parlays. So in the 1990s, I was running around, and then I got a team, and we were all betting all these parlay cards that were considered to be complete sucker bets and just crushing the casinos until they started being very unhappy with us. Yes.
Okay, I get it. Now, to me, the easiest way, the best way to prove you're a professional gambler is to take that camera and show me that mega mansion that you bought, because if the house always wins, which we know it doesn't always win, but every time I go to Vegas, there's another casino being built. So it seems like even the professionals are taking more losses than wins. Is that true or false?
That's largely true because the professionals have an edge that's really very slight compared to the average person. Let's face it, you go into a new casino, people are playing roulette. That's a game that has a 5.26% house edge. Heck, instead of putting 2 greens on the wheel, we'll put 3. No one will even notice. Hey, some people prefer. I've walked past a roulette table. 2 greens, no one's playing. They're playing the 3 green wheel where the house edge is almost 8%. People don't care. They're just there to have fun. And that's 99% of the clientele. So who cares if a few people win when everybody else is donating all this money to the house?
No, I get you. I get you. Look, I like to have fun like the next person, but my problem with gambling is I don't have the patience. I know when I sit at the tables, I could easily be at the club. I could easily be at that day party. I could be easily doing something that is not taking my money and entertaining me the same, right? So playing war, which is my favorite game to play, is there anything I could do to make that experience better instead of just donating my money to the casino?
There's only one way, and you're not going to like the answer. There's a technique. Phil Ivey did this to the casinos. It's called edge sorting. You got to find a place where the cards aren't the same, the top and the bottom of them. And you flip over the high total card. So if you can peek at the top card, the back of it, you can see, oh, here comes a high card coming. But the level of complexity to do all this, for all the listeners out there, go back and query edge sorting Phil Ivey. He won like $10 million playing Baccarat this way. And then the casinos wouldn't pay and it went to court and he actually lost. He lost in court to the judge. It's a fascinating story, basically because he could put all the 8s and 9s on a Baccarat table upside down in the shoe.
Wow. Okay. All right. Here's my other question, because this happened to me one time. One of the last times I stopped gambling because I was just like, I didn't like this feeling. So I'm sitting at the tables, got my boys behind me. So I'm sitting there with 600 other strangers. And I get a 12 and I double down on it. Why did I double down? Because I know that the book says you shouldn't. But I'm like, look, a 12, the chances are I'm not going to get a 10 or a face card. I'm going to give me a number card and I'm going to end up winning. All I need is a 9 down. And of course, I busted and everybody eye rolled me, but I'm bigger than them. They didn't say anything. Point being, give me the rule or give me a few things and tips for everyone who plays blackjack.
All right, so I'm going to give you a tip where you can double on your 12, and people are skeptical, but once I tell it, they're going to say, oh, that's clever. So you're not going to double down on 12, even against a 5 or 6, because you're going to bust, obviously, 4/13 of the time right off the bat. And you could, even if you get a little card, it might not help you. It might get a 3, so that it's a bad hand, okay? But I'm going to give you one hand, you can double, but you're not going to double down. You can double for less. You get a 12 and the dealer has a 3 up. You're going to double for less. You got a $100 bet. You can double for $5 because doubling on 12 is incredibly stupid, Marcellus. Incredibly stupid. And
that's what they said.
So the cover that you're going to get, any house that sees you doubling on a hard 12, they're going to scream doubling on a hard 12. And unless you're whole carding and you see what the next card and the dealer's exposed that they've got an 8 or 9 coming, they're going to know you're just a good customer and they're going to give you good comps. They're going to give you good ratings. And you know what? It doesn't cost you anything. You know why? Because you're going to hit that 12 against a 3 anyways. And even if you get an ace, you're going to stand. So you're not going to change how you're playing the hand. And it's $5 extra that you're betting. So in expectation, it costs you, maybe you're at a 20%, 30% disadvantage. It costs you $1.50 to look like a dummy and get great comps.
You know what? That explains it, because that was the first time ever I had a triple jack just given to me. I've always had doubles, but they gave me a triple jack and Diet Coke, so I knew I had done something to help the casino. Okay, now let's get into why we're really here. We know what this is. This is conference championship weekend in the NFL. Big stakes, big money, big interest right here. I want to start with the later game, because that game, San Francisco at home. Who's coming into town? The Detroit Lions. Just break it down in a professional gambling scope. How do you see this game going?
Sure. So the first starting point in any handicap is I have a power rating on every team. How good is that team? So my power rating on San Francisco right now is a 9. What does that mean? If San Fran on a neutral site played an average team, Joe Q average, they would be a 9-point favorite. Well, I've got Detroit as a 4. So I've got San Fran 5 points better than the Lions on a neutral. They're home. Home field's worth about 1.5. So that only gets me to, with the 5 point difference, 1.5 for home field, it only gets me to 6.5. That's my starting point. And the line's 7. So I would lean towards the Lions. However, I think the spot is really bad for the Lions. So let me ask you about this as a former player. You've got the 2 biggest wins in Detroit Lion history, and everyone's sky high. Everyone's going on all the national shows and like getting accolades, told how great they are. And now I've got an indoor dome team. I know the weather's going to be great, but they're flying across the country to play on grass. The spot, in my opinion, is terrible for the Lions. So as long as I got Debo, if Debo plays for the Niners, if I was going to bet this game, I would lay the 7 with San Fran. But I need Debo playing because he's critical to their offense.
Okay, so I heard you there, and I'm going to answer that. But before I do, if Debo doesn't play, that makes you flip and says that Detroit wins. And if he does play, is this as simple as San Francisco wins? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't think Detroit wins regardless, but it'll be a close game, a closer game. Without Debo, I would lean to betting the Lions +7. Of course, this is no secret. If the reports come out, Debo's not going to play, that 7 point spread's going to drop. It's going to drop to 6 because what happens, no non-quarterback is ever worth more than 1.5 in the NFL. And there's no reason with the Niners, with all their weapons, with C-Mac and everybody else, that they should be reliant upon one skill position player. But they kind of are. That offense historically has done so much better with Debo Samuel that I can't chalk it up to a small sample anymore. They really need him to be able to play. Now, Purdy is the big question mark. Was he not ready for prime time, or was it the rain last week? I think it was more the rain. I think Purdy's a very good quarterback. Frankly, he was favored to win the MVP. So I think he'll be fine on a perfect day in the Bay Area. And as long as he has his full complement of players, I don't see the Lions defense stopping the Niners.
Okay, so let me answer your question, Steve, because we've seen this dynamic, that phenomenon before, where a team overachieves and then they get into the playoff and have success, and then it comes to an end and you're like, how did that happen? I thought that team was even better than they went out. It's not that you land and get into the playoff game fat and full, like, oh, we didn't train this week, we weren't locked in. None of that. This is something that you can understand fully. It's when you face that adversity, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, you guys are down, you're fighting, and nothing is really working for you to surpass them. And somehow, some way, one of those doubt birds flies over you and it drops off. Hey, don't forget, we're playing with house money. And whenever that enters the collective psyche of like, we tried, but, or man, you can just all of a sudden see the team that is poised for that moment, 49ers, start to pull away or keep that distance from a Detroit team that in their head, even though they will lose this game, there's some confetti still falling in some respect because they overachieved. That dynamic happens all the time, and that's why you see a team that comes back and does great usually falls up short. So let's switch to the other game. Let's talk about this, because this is the game everybody wants to see. Now, I'm hoping you're going to say exactly what I want to hear, but based on my gambling experience, you're not. The Baltimore Ravens at home versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Break it down in the gambling terms. How is this going to play out?
All right, warning again, math warning. Let's start with my power ratings. Baltimore's been the much better team. Not just better, much better. They've been 9 points better than an average team. That's where I have them rated. I only have Kansas City 6.5 points better, obviously, because the receivers have struggled so much other than Kelsey. So on a neutral site, Baltimore -2.5. Baltimore's home. So you're going through that key number of 3, but I still think you could justify a spread of Baltimore -3.5 because they have a good home field advantage and they've been the significantly better team. But that just gets me to the current spread. And now I got to look at intangibles. And the intangibles, I've got God at quarterback. I trust God. Absolutely, Mahomes is who I want to bet on in these situations. Mahomes is great as an underdog. All the man does is win. And even when Kansas City loses, even this year when they've lost games, not been his fault. He's thrown perfect passes on 4th and 25. I know his receivers have dropped it. His receivers have lined up out of bounds or offsides. Kansas City could easily have won 13 games. And there's not enough of a disparity between these two teams for me to not just look at the quarterback position and say, I don't trust Lamar Jackson, and I do trust Mahomes, and I'm betting Kansas City.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. This is why I don't gamble. This is why I don't sit at the tables. People like you who hide behind the math and break it down like that usually win. I'm wrong, but I am going Baltimore. Now, you went to the quarterback and said you don't trust a now is going to happen. 2-time MVP who has carried this team on his back with that defense. Please break down why you don't trust Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I trust him during the regular season. I trust the Baltimore Bullies to clobber bad teams. That's why they got a sky-high power rating.
4 touchdowns last week. Come on, Steve.
I look historically in the playoffs, and I know Baltimore made some great adjustments at halftime, and they ran out a team from Houston, a coastal southern city. Well, Houston's not really coastal. Close enough. A warm weather team in the 20s. You saw the Dolphins get rolled, Houston get rolled. Let's face it, Baltimore's offense really didn't do much at all in the first half, and then they did great in the second half and pulled away. I will say this, if you want to bet on Lamar Jackson, I did make a prop bet. I bet him over 65 rush yards at 100 last week. I do think that's a really good bet because I think in general, I love Marcellus. I love betting the good story early in the week. And the good story is that Jackson got 100 rush yards. He's going to run the ball more than during the regular season. So even though he only averaged 50 during the regular season in each game, don't care. He should run a lot more in the playoffs. So I think that's a good way. If you want to bet on Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, I think his rush yards, obviously, he stepped it up huge against Houston. I think that's a fine wager and one you should make now because that line will probably go up. And if he winds up rushing for 67 yards, you're going to win if you bet it now, but you're probably going to lose if you bet it on Sunday.
Steve, you are like medicine. I know I need to hear this, but I don't like it. I don't like how it sounds and certainly don't want that to be the reality. Can you give me scores? Is that something in your world or you don't even care, just the spreads?
I don't even care. I'm boring. I'm always going to give you a number close to what is being dealt. I'll say this regarding Baltimore. There are plenty of sharps that agree with you because this line was 3.5. And I came out and I said, no way. No way will you ever see a Kansas City +4. It's impossible. This line's going to come down to 3. I have every confidence. And guess what? I'm staring at my odds screen, and there's plenty of +4s popping up. So that means there are guys out there betting your side on this game, betting Baltimore enough -3.5. They're betting a lot because this spread has gone up to 4 in many, many locations, including some of the sharpest books in the world. So it's altogether possible I have the wrong side on this game. Hey, it's not like I'm part of a union. I'm not part of the sharp gamblers union. We all get out our cigars. We conclude what the right side is. We smoke our cigars like the Raiders in the locker room and say, we got the winner here. I mean, we disagree. Sharp gamblers disagree on almost every game. Not almost every game, but many games.
Okay, Steve, now we got us a gentleman's bet. I told you I stopped gambling. Long story, went to Panama. Oh, they wiped me clean. I'm not going there anymore. All I play is like the $20 slots so I could sit there and watch the sports book and get a free drink. So I just paid $20 for a free drink. So here's the thing. We have our bet. I am going Detroit and I am going Baltimore. You're on the other side, and then we're going to come back after this and we're going to see who won that bet and more importantly, predict that Super Bowl matchup that will be decided this weekend. Do we have a deal, Steve?
We have a deal, and in fact, I'm going to take San Fran, and I'm going to take Kansas City. Those are going to be on the Bet US show. That's who I'm going to go ahead and give out here as my leans, just leans, not official plays. But if I don't go 2-0 against you, when you come to Vegas, Marcellus, I am taking you to Nobu in Caesar's Palace, and the bill's on me. Now, when I say the bill's on me, it's not really on me. It's going to be on Caesars because I got comp dollars. But you get the idea. Let's go to Nobu, my favorite restaurant in Vegas.
Oh, man, that's love. I got to win. I want some Steve Nobu time, and then we're going to play war together. I'm finally going to win against the casino when you next to me playing war, man. So that's Steve Fezzik right there.
We'll play blackjack. We're going to play blackjack, not war.
All right, I'm going to double down on 12,
got
and
you
everybody's
back.
going to be embarrassed. They're going to be mad at you, Steve, if I double down on that 12 again. Appreciate you, brother, man. That was great. Steve Fezzik, professional gambler, who is now going to be on Never Shut Up going forward. Look forward to that. Damn, I love me a mathematician. Y'all know me. He was breaking that down. He said 5.6%. I said, what? Who has ever sat down and thought about the house odds against you when you're betting? You always think you got the power to some degree, and then the house always wins. Oh, that was fascinating conversation. Too bad he's going to lose on both of those bets. Look forward to that. All right, y'all. It's time to funk up some comments. Yeah. Let's talk about Ryan Clark on Brock Purdy. He said, does the media give so much grief to Purdy because he breaks all their notions of what good is? At this point, every argument is asinine. And this argument is amazing. What an amazing comment right there. You have picked up on the same thing that scouts, evaluators, media, broadcasters, and hosts have all done and are all guilty of. When they can't conventionally, traditionally define something, they talk bad about it. Like, because your hopes are that's an anomaly and it's not going to last, right? Even if you win, beginner's luck, it ain't going to last. Or you come in an unconventional way, this is the way it goes. You're not going to reinvent the wheel. And then someone does. And then you sit there, and the apology is much quieter than all of the criticism for all that time. You picked up on it. Same thing with Tom Brady when he was at the combines with his chest all inward and concaved, and he looked all up. They just talk bad about him. 6th rounder. Then they talk bad about him when he first started. Then he becomes the GOAT. Then you're like, oh yeah, that's what we're looking for. No, you're not. You were beating me up all the way through this process. So I'm not saying that Brock Purdy's going to be a GOAT, but I'm saying until you are something that they can easily sell in their own minds and to the public, they're going to beat you up. All right, here we go. Another one. I got a question for you, Marcellus. I got an answer for you. Seeing how the Packers played towards the end of the season and how they played in the playoffs, do you still believe Love isn't the guy for the Packers moving forward? I don't know if I said that. Because Jordan Love started this year. And let's just say I haven't been doing a ton of deep analysis on football. It's not my thing, right? Like, I played football. You want to talk about a cover 2 with a shift to a 0 and a Sam blitz? I'm like, I know all that. Rather talk about what they're going to do after the game. You know what I mean? But I never was off Love. I just was like, you got a lot of pressure on you to step into those big shoes. So far, let's be real, doing better than expected. Certainly when he finally got his starts under his belt. Chandler Jones, let's just ask Merrill Hodge about that. We're talking about CTE. He at one point in his life, and probably still does, walk with an ID card in his pocket. This is simply because at times he couldn't remember who he was. Is that not a chronic symptom of CTE? I know I've had several concussions, football, and by a strange twist of fate, snowboarding. Damn, you imagine hitting the snow so hard that you get a concussion? Woo. There were times I can't remember my own name. Look, I'm no doctor, so I'm going to act like I am right now. I forget stuff all the time. And frankly, my 8-year-old son forgets stuff all the time. I tell him, go get your shoes, come back here. He'll come back, no shoes. He ain't got no CTE, sucker there. He just forgot. Now, the older he gets, he's probably going to forget more. Now, you add some injury to it, you're probably going to be even more forgetful. CTE, you got to die first for me to tell you if it's CTE. But I'm not talking about CTE like, are you predisposed to it? I'm not. I'm really not. What I'm saying is what activates and triggers it for you to either go through deep depression or suicide or other life issues. Other than that, you're just forgetting shit. You're just like an 8-year-old. You're just forgetting shit. It ain't that hard. I'm not going to say it's fake, but every time we see a player acting up off the field, be it verbally or physically, we say CTE is a reason. And there is no proof of that in those moments. CTE can only be diagnosed after one has passed away. Yeah, if you really want to go conspiracy, you can almost say, did they make up something called CTE? I don't know when it first hit the scene. Because a lot of times it hits our public conscious, and you're like, oh, wow. And then you read about it. It's been around for 100 years. I don't know the history of it. I will say this. I never heard the term CTE when I played football, and I retired in 2007. Never heard that term. All of a sudden, NFL goes under all this criticism and scrutiny. It's the CTE, and you can get it playing soccer and lacrosse. And really? Oh, okay. Well, just these contact sports. Be careful. Be careful. And then we can't tell you have it until you're dead. What? Every other ailment in this world, you know when you're alive, or it kills you. This the only one I know that you ain't gonna find out till you're dead. Woo. If I'm gonna have a conspiracy, if I'm gonna rig something, this is how I'm gonna rig it. Just saying. Dana White. I respect Dana for standing up for his fighters, but you could make an argument that he is pandering to the audience that watches UFC. True. A big portion of his audience is conservative. Every time they show Trump on the arena, people cheer like crazy. So of course he knows how that demographic feel about free speech. I'm not accusing him of pandering, but I would love to know what you think looking at him from that angle. Yeah, you know why that makes some sense? Because someone wrote that there was a fighter who was professing his love for Christianity and Jesus. And let's just say Dana White didn't have the same free speech argument for that fighter. He was pushing back or was in his feelings. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. If it's true, yeah. Look, we all have a pandering spirit. We must fight, right? You always want to champion what you believe or what you feel or what you represent. That has to fight against the truth, right? Right? Like, here's an example. I walk in the gym, I'm always the first pick overall in any basketball gym. Every time. Now, me, I want to go out there and tell people, yeah, damn right. You know what I'm saying? I'm big, I'm black, I can play basketball. Pandering. Stereotypes, just feeding into stereotypes, feeding the beast. But then there's a truth. And you'll find it real soon as I start dribbling. You'll be like, wait a minute. To me, that's a loose way of saying this. Like, dog, just tell the truth before people got to get caught up in what you saying or what they believe, right? So, Dana ain't going to go there right now. I do believe what Dana is saying is the way it should be. Not saying it's the way it always is. But the way it should be is free speech. But be real. We don't want hate speech. And hate speech is a thing. You know, I can say, fuck them. And like, whoa, wait a minute. I know I don't like them. I don't have to hate them. We'll say, fuck them. Now, you ain't got, so, you can't say everything everywhere. You can't. You can't go into a movie theater and say fire. You can't. So free speech doesn't mean whatever. It means way looser than we got in this fake ass PC culture we live in right now. Call me conservative if you want. I don't like to call myself conservative. I don't like to call myself liberal. Depends on the question. I am very conservative in many ways, and I'm liberal in others. Depends on what we're talking about. All right, y'all. Y'all know what we do at the end of every show. We finish it with a Wileyism. Yeah. Road to success and failure are almost exactly the same. Yes, yes, yes. That's why it's so important that you catch yourself and these itty bitties at the forks in the road. Because if not, your ass gonna be walking a parallel path thinking you're doing the right thing and you're right there, but you're on the wrong side. You ever been there? Thinking it's working, get that test back, that ain't work. That's how you learn, right? Thinking that, all right, I'm gonna approach it this way. I'm gonna go to school and do it this way. This is how I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go up to him peacefully, nice, and say, what's up? That ain't work. He punched me in the face. Whatever it may be. Okay, I'm going to approach it this way. I'm going to take the patient process. I'm not going to go to my boss and ask for a promotion. I'm just going to do my work. They're going to notice it, and they're going to promote me. Damn, they promoted Dan because Dan went up there and complained, and the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So a lot of times when you're doing something that's going to work, it's parallel. It's almost congruent to things that don't work. Put it like this. How many guys you know played sports, went to practice, did extra heels, extra road work, did extra reps, push-ups, watched film, and didn't make it? That part. So what you got to do is do that. That's almost a necessary evil. Not almost. It is necessary evil. No matter what you're doing, you got to work hard. Even if you're going to fail, imagine that, you're going to fail. So I'll button it up to you like this. We had a special teams coach. His name was Bruce DeHaven. Rest in peace, Coach Bruce DeHaven. One of the best, if not the best, special teams coach ever. Had Steve Tasker going in the Pro Bowl or something like that. Crazy, like next level. I played for him in Buffalo. He said, guys, I know you don't want to be here because it's special teams. However, you are here. And I need you to go 100%. Now, listen to me. If you go 100%, I can't guarantee that you'll ever block a kick. But if you don't go 100%, I guarantee you'll never block a kick. All right, guys, let's get to work. He changed my life right then and there. I swear that's another one. Like my daddy yesterday, I told you that one about, are you hungry or do you want to eat? When coach said go 100%, no guarantees. Don't go 100%. I guarantee you won't do it. What? Other than that, be like, what? Oh, he dropping the gym on my head. Point being, road to success and failure are almost exactly the same. That'll do it for today's episode of Never Shut Up. I got to talk to people in meetings, and I'm supposed to play pickleball. I want some wings. I got a lot going on. Love y'all like I love my Clippers. Respect, man. Have a great day. I know I will.
Stage a lot faster. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so inspired to be here, and thanks Shine Global for this award, to be recognized for doing the right thing, to be recognized for doing good things, and trying to inspire others for their own greatness. I'm just a kid from Compton who, at an early age, had to look inside to find my opportunities, because on the outside, there were so many whispers and sometimes yells of I couldn't make my dreams a reality. And thought that was very unfortunate, but I was thankful that I never internalized that chorus that was around me. I was a kid that understood that you had to be greater than your greatest excuse. And I had a lot of excuses. I had a lot of reasons to have self-doubt. But I was able to develop my inner power, discover that inner power, and make sure that I showed the world exactly who I wanted to be. And it was really simple for me. It was to make my dreams a reality. There was nothing more to it. And as I now stand here, just a few miles from where I grew up, where that adversity still is strong, and as we see through these movies, that it's worldwide, not just in our locale. You see the suffering, you see the gangs, you see the drugs, you see the poverty. And there's always one common escape. It's that inner power, it's that ambition. It's having a voice that's louder than those surrounding voices. And I'm on a mission, a global mission, to make sure that that inner power inspires all to not only give, but to receive the blessings that come from giving. And I'm up here right now as a guy who's challenging everyone to give their 3 T's. That's time, that's talent, and that's treasure. Human capital, financial, whatever it may be. Let's invest in each other, because we all have to coexist here together. And as I look around and I have a foundation that really inspires these kids to become their greatest version of themselves, and to look in the mirror to make sure that they're greater than their greatest excuse. It gives me my greatest passion. I was a kid who wanted to be a school teacher, but because of my height, weight, and speed, I became a football player. So I took that helicopter ride up as high as I could, but as I was ascending, I never forgot that I was once one of those fork-in-the-road kids who was shot at many times, who had to navigate around adversity every single day, who had to waste so much of his brain power just trying to get home every day. And so many experiences that sometimes you become desensitized to. But in reality, that is someone else's reality. So I'm so thankful to stand in front of all of you guys as an example of the kids that we're trying to affect, the underserved, the underprivileged, those who are told that their hardships are greater than who they are. But hopefully we can inspire them all to look inward, because everything they want out there is already in here. Appreciate you guys.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right. Get a 125% sign-up bonus, and to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we're giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.